Happy birthday, Molly! Woo! Hello everyone and welcome back to the Molly Project. I only took a 1.5 year hiatus because life got in the way. I wish I had this video done last April, but alas I did not, and now it is April of 2025. But I am very happy to report that I did finally finish Molly's birthday dress. Yes, a lot of rickrack later, and here we are. I do think this might be one of Lucky's favorite projects because, fun fact, she really likes rickrack. More on that later. So in this video, I will show you how I made my version of Molly's happy birthday dress from the 4th book in the Molly series, Happy Birthday, Molly. In this book, her birthday dress is a pinafore dress, so it kind of looks like an apron. And I looked into it a little bit and did some research, and it seems like these style of dresses were popular amongst small children and also some young women. Now, I just don't think that I'm going to wear this style of dress very much. I don't see it becoming part of my everyday wardrobe just because it's very floofy, and it's a definite party dress and is a very definite particular type of party dress. But I thought, you know what? It's a pinafore dress. I could make an apron, and I had apron pattern from the 1940s, a reprint from Simplicity, and I thought, oh my gosh, I could make an apron, and then this could be a fun apron that I can use and I can wear in my kitchen. So here I am making pattern 1221 from Simplicity, and it has these beautiful sleeve flounces, which is really the hallmark of Molly's birthday dress, is these beautiful sleeve flounces with the rickrack on it. To finish these flounces, I decided to do a simple folded hem. The pattern originally calls for eyelets, some eyelet trim, so it doesn't really have instructions on how to finish it because you wouldn't need to if it's eyelets. But I thought a simple folded hem would work splendidly. Now, the Molly dress has 3 separate flounces with a different color of rickrack on each flounce, and I just felt like that was way too much to invest fabric-wise, time-wise into this apron. So I'm just doing 1 flounce with all 3 colors on it. Now we have red rickrack, green rickrack, and blue rickrack. I am using the size medium rickrack. The small was too small and the large was too large, and the medium was indeed just right. I'm very much a Goldilocks when it comes to rickrack. Getting the color order right for the flounces was very important. It goes red on the outside, blue in the middle, and then green on the very inside. And this is just like it is on Molly's outfit. So of course that is exactly what I am going for here. It was pretty easy to just stitch this rickrack on with the machine. I just stitched very carefully and a little slower than normal down the middle of the rickrack, and then it held on perfectly. I then put a gathering stitch on the very inside edge of the flounce. I gathered it up, and then I spread the gathers out appropriately so that they would go on the shoulder strap. Now the flounce starts at my waist and then go all the way over my shoulder to the back. So it's a very long flounce, and there are 2 shoulder straps that the flounce gets sandwiched in between so that it'll have a nice finished edge. And then to finish the other edge of the shoulder strap, I'm just going to tuck the edges in. I'll sandwich them in so the raw edges are both tucked in, and then do a top stitch to finish that. Now, as I said, Lucky loves the rickrack. I had a little bit of this red rickrack left over, and she loves it. It has become one of her absolute favorite toys. It's so cute. She loves her rickrack. Here I am stitching down that ruffled sandwich between the 2 shoulder straps. And then when I open it up, it looks like this. I'm so excited. This really is starting to look like Molly's birthday dress. Now, the front of the apron, my little pinafore part, is just this little rectangular piece with a little like triangle cut out of the bottom because the waistband that I have has a little triangle in it. I'm just going to top stitch it all together. I could try to do a lining situation, but not how this is going to work today. I tried doing that when I made this in a Christmas style apron. So if you want to see that, I have another video about how I made basically the same apron, but slightly differently. I'll link it down below if you would like. I ironed the shoulder straps down and placed the raw edges together and ironed them so they're nice and flat and secure. And then I turned my attention to the waistband. It is this cute little pointed waistband. And then there's just the skirt of the apron, just rectangles that I sewed together, gathered, and now I'm pinning them into the waistband. The waistband also has a front and a back, and I'm sandwiching the skirt between those two pieces of the waistband, and I have turned under the raw edges, so all of the raw edges are now hidden. Dun, da, da, da. And then I'm going to sew it down with my sewing machine. I'm just going to top stitch. I like having the front of my apron up so I can see where that line of stitching is going. Otherwise, it's a surprise, and sometimes it's not a good surprise if you do it upside down. And ta-da! I have the skirt done. I have the top done. Now I just need to put them together. But first, pockets. The pockets are very important. I think the pockets add so much to the skirt because otherwise it's just a plain white skirt. It's kind of boring, but once you add the pockets, it really pops. So I kind of just had to eyeball where the pockets were going to go. I would be very impressed if someone could put pocket guides on a skirt before it's gathered and then say, yeah, this should be where it goes. I guess you could do that, but I just kind of eyeballed it after I gathered the skirt. And then I had to determine where the top of the pocket was going to be, and then I needed to put more rickrack on these pockets. Now, the patterning for the rickrack color goes green, blue, then red, so it's the opposite of the ruffle on the shoulder. So I pinned these on, I sewed them on, and then I sewed the pocket together. I folded it over like a pita pocket, stitched it around, left a little hole at the bottom of the pocket so I could turn it right side out, clipped my corners, and then I decided that I did not want to machine sew these pockets on because I felt like it was going to be too harsh of a line. So instead I decided to hand sew these pockets on using a back stitch, which is one of the strongest construction hand stitches that you can do. So it took a little bit longer, but I think it was definitely worth it. Oh, and Yo-Yo decided to visit the sewing room, and in true Yo-Yo fashion, she got to the highest point that she could get, refused help, and then eventually came down. Lucky was not very amused. She does not like cat visitors to her sewing sanctuary, particularly Yo-Yo, who she still does not get along with. After 3 years, it's gotten slightly better, and Lucky has gotten slightly braver, but still not great. She still won't go upstairs. She only will be in our basement. We try to bring her upstairs, and she's like, no thanks. So now it's time to attach the bodice to the skirt, and it's really just this one little zigzag up here where it gets attached right at the front with that little triangular piece that goes into the waistband. I just top stitched that with the belt being in the front, and then I secured the straps to the back where I needed them to go after trying it on. And ta-da! The apron is done, but I am not done with my project because, as you can see, Molly's dress has a high neckline, and I thought I need a blouse really to go with this, and then some sleeves, because what am I going to wear under the apron to still look like Molly's dress when I do the photo shoot and everything? So I had these patterns for 1940s blouses. I used basically the same pattern but with long sleeves when I was making the Molly Learns a Lesson dress and the jumper, and this was the blouse that went under the jumper. I'm decided against doing a collar because Molly's dress does not have a collar, and short sleeves because I thought that was more fitting for her springtime birthday. It has cute little cap sleeves that I'm gathering right here, and then hemming. So I'll do a nice little folded hem on the sleeves, gather them, and then set them into the bodice. The bodice was pretty easy. It just had some nice tucks to bring in the waist, and then it will open in the back with buttons. Here I am setting in the sleeves, and then I'm going to stitch that down. So I was originally thinking of adding a collar. Like this to this outfit. This is basically the same color I did for Molly Learns Lessons blouse. But then I was looking at it like this, and I kind of liked it like this, which is like a nice little finish edge here, instead of doing it like all up. And then I looked at Molly's dress here, and I think this would actually look better and more like her dress, because she doesn't have a collar on this. It's just a nice little rounded neckline. So I think if we put this shirt under the apron, it's going to look a lot more like her dress here, which would be even better. And then I also don't have to worry about putting on a collar, which I don't really like putting on collars. So I think we're just going to just finish it here. I have some bias tape that I think I might use to help finish it on the inside there. And then we're kind of done. I just have to hem it and then put buttons up the back, and well, doing buttonholes is not my favorite. It is also August of 2024 right now, and my video schedule is pretty well booked out until at least February. In this outfit, I don't have an event that I want to wear this to or need this for. So I'm kind of thinking, now that I have all the parts together, I'm not going to lose anything because I haven't even decided what buttons I want to put on it. I'm kind of thinking of folding this up and then waiting until I'm actually going to do a photo shoot with this outfit for this video when it comes out. So I guess I'll see you in a few months. Yeah, I guess I don't even have to do the bias binding tape, really. Wow, I could start my next project. That sounds fun. I am excited about my next project. It's my outfit and cape for Scotland. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Hello! So it's later now. It's April 22nd to be exact, which is Molly McIntire's birthday. So to celebrate her birthday, I'm going to finish this project and we're going to have a party. Yes, I know. I'm so excited. Did I go to the store and buy icing for a birthday cake to make my doll? Yes, I did. Yes, I did, because I'm an adult and I can do what I want. Look, he looks so concerned. Yes, baby? You want to help celebrate the birthday? No? You were just concerned that I was not holding you? Which is okay. So, this was supposed to have a collar attached to it. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to tuck this down and do a nice little, just finish it off right there. That's all. And then I'm going to try to put buttons in the back really fast. So, I've already told my husband, / asked my husband if he could help sew on buttons, and he said yes. But he does not do buttonholes with the machine. He's scared of that, which is very fair. Very fair. I'm also kind of scared of that, so. Now to find some buttons and do a little hem on this neckline. Will I do a hem on the bottom? Maybe not today. I just need this wearable, and I'm going to tuck it into a skirt, so it'll be fine. Alright, Lucky, let's go! So I really quickly sewed some buttonholes on the back. My wonderful husband sewed the buttons on, and then I started making a cake for Molly. Now, I used an authentic World War II recipe that I found from the History Museum of Mobile, and I will link that down below as well. They have this fun, really cool activity that's meant for kids, but anybody can do it. And it looks like they had published this during the pandemic, so it was like a fun thing that you could do at home. Speaking of fun things to do at home, my husband and I have acquired a Hauser cabinet. It came complete with a flour sifter, and now I love sifting flour. This cake also called for cocoa powder, which this is the one that came from the store, but also it's been around since 39, so it's authentic. Molly could have used it as well. The big thing that makes this a ration recipe is the use of mayonnaise instead of eggs. Now, things in mayonnaise were rationed, like oil and eggs and butter, but mayonnaise itself was not rationed during World War II. Therefore, it makes a pretty good substitution. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but stick around till the end and I'll let you know what I think. I then added some water and used my American Girl doll spatula to mix it all together, which felt very fitting. My husband got me this spatula when he took me to the American Girl doll store in Charlotte, RIP, American Girl doll Charlotte, you will be missed, for a very fun Christmas Eve surprise where we had a little party for our family, and it was absolutely delightful. So I went ahead and I put my cake mixture into the cake pan and then set the oven to 350 and let it bake while I got the rest of the tea party together, because we're having a tea party. In the Molly book, Happy Birthday Molly, she is planning, the entire book is about her planning a birthday tea party with her new British best friend, Emily. But does the book actually have the birthday party in it? No, it does not. The book ends with the girls putting on their party dresses and going downstairs. So here, I am imagining what Molly's dream birthday would look like and celebrating that for her. And it was absolutely delightful. Also, definitely recommend having tea for dinner, because after I got home from work and went to the store and got all of this together, it was kind of late. But you know what? We still got to celebrate Molly's birthday, and that's what matters. All right, so I made an authentic World War II recipe for chocolate cake like Molly might have had from the Mobile Museum of History. At least that's where the recipe's from. The actual recipe's from the 40s. So I'm excited. I did lick the spoon because it doesn't have actual eggs in it. It has mayonnaise. So the batter tasted really good. Hopefully the cake tastes really good too, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to ice it. Could you believe the store did not have yellow icing like Molly had? So we're just going with some classic white icing. I know. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Molly. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Ah, we did it! All right, Molly, it's time to taste test our cake. It's very gooey, which I like personally. Almost like a brownie consistency, like a brownie kind of cake-like consistency, which is really yummy. Not super chocolatey. It's not very rich. It's like, oh yes, it is chocolate, but it is wartime, and we must reserve ourselves from making things too indulgent. I actually really like with the mayonnaise. I know someone's going to about to like hate that I say this, but it's very moist. It's a very moist cake, which I think is very enjoyable.